vision. Wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, I gotta go.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa. Am I missing something? Anyway, don't matter. Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. College Couch Podcast. Javaris here, Stackz, we're forever in the building. We are back. We're back, and it's a new year. We're super glad to see all of you guys. Man, it just feels too long. It's been too long. But yeah, man. God, it just feels so right when you're back recording after some time off. Of course, with the holidays and things like that, just decide to take a little break. So we're back. We're good. We're ready to rock and roll. Stackz, my brother, how are you, man? Good to see you, brother.
Good. What a way to start the new year off.
Yeah.
With all these games, man.
Yeah.
It's been a crazy way to end the year and to start the year.
Oh,
So it's
100%.
it's been a roller coaster. It's been fun. It's been for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people would think I would be in a different mood right now, especially after Georgia just lost. But honestly, I genuinely don't care anymore.
Well, I think some time has passed to let you calm down. Have we
Yeah.
recorded that night or have we recorded the night after?
Oh
I
my
don't think
God.
we would have got the same
I genuinely like.
Javaris. So
I'm,
I mean,
but honestly, at the same time, I'm really like, I'm just like, bro, like. I was ready for the season to end, but at the same time, I would have loved to see how far we went. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had a lot of struggles this season, and honestly, just for it to finally be over in a way kind of gives that sigh of relief. Like, okay, thank God we
but
don't have to.
you did see how far y'all would go. Y'all went
Yeah.
played in the playoffs. Y'all definitely earned y'all spot. I mean, so I mean,
Yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's cool and all, but of course, you want to contend for a championship. You want to play for a
that's you
championship.
guys' standard. So I
Yeah,
mean, you
exactly.
contended for a championship. You just came up short and
Yeah.
keep it going. So I mean, y'all standard now is changed from making playoffs to not just making playoffs
Mhm.
to actually win a championship. You guys had
Right.
a roller coaster of a season, and
Yeah.
honestly, I mean, some people didn't think you guys were going to end up in this spot at certain points in the season, and you guys proved everybody wrong. So I mean,
Agreed.
uh,
Agreed. Man, I don't know. I'm just glad things are over. I mean, granted, the season wasn't bad. To end the season 10-2 or 10-3, however you want to look at it. I mean, man, that's a big accomplishment. Again, with just with all the mishaps as we had, internally and externally. But um, man, just I'm just looking forward to next season now. That's all I can really say. Of course, I'm still waiting to get the notification that Mike Bobo is unemployed, but probably won't happen. Um, receive just catching from our receivers has been a big thing. Offensive lineman issues. My opinion, secondary issues, but I feel like hopefully all of that will change. Once some more guys come in, we get some things rearranged, we get some things sorted out. But just gotta hope for better things to come in the next year. Also, before we get too in depth with this game, we here at the College Couch Podcast would like to give our most heartfelt condolences for all the families affected by the tragic incident that happened in New Orleans. Um, just heartbreaking. Me and Stackz woke up New Year's Day morning, and we just couldn't believe the news that we were hearing. So prayers, condolences to everybody out in New Orleans who have been impacted and affected by this. As I always say, we just have to have more love in this country, and it starts with us. But moving forward, let's get a little bit more in depth to this Sugar Bowl game.
condolences
Oh yeah,
to Kirby Smart losing his pops.
absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah,
yes,
definitely got
yes,
to throw that in there too.
yes. Yes,
So yeah,
absolutely.
prayers up for him and his family. During his time, everything like that. Before we go into it,
Yeah.
just want to put that out there first too.
Thank thank you, brother, because I surely just forgot about that. That
No,
totally
you
slipped
good.
my
You
mind.
good. Hey, I don't like it. I don't like y'all when we playing, but we still a SEC family. You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
it's
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. But yeah. Okay, so Raleigh Leonard. Last time me and you spoke, we had a big debate about Raleigh Leonard and Will Howard. Raleigh Leonard didn't even have to do much this game for them to win.
Well, I disagree. He didn't have to do much throwing, but he had to do
Yeah.
a lot of running, and a lot of running through people, and a lot of
Yeah.
carrying people, and the crazy part with him for me is he didn't run outside the tackles a whole lot. It was pure up the gut quarterback read draws and stuff like that, and just carrying people with him. I mean, because it was several times you guys had him bottled up in this
Yeah.
the second, third effort. You know what I'm saying? Kept drives alive. I mean, he ran for what 70, 80
80
yards,
yards, yeah.
80 yards. Yeah, and barely scratched the surface on the pass attempt. I mean, and on with the passes. I mean, I know he had the big pass at the end of the half. For the touchdown and everything like that. But I mean, yeah, I mean that. Let's go back to that saying. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Okay, one thing ain't working. Let's open it up somewhere else. And let's just hit him in the mouth and be out physical. Because I mean, to be honest, in my opinion, I think y'all's game plan was fine.
Mhm.
It's just I think Notre Dame wanted it a lot more, a lot more. With all the teams that we're gonna talk about that had the bye week, all of them seemed like they just came out very sluggish, very slow. It just felt like Georgia came out. They weren't as Georgia as we've used to seeing them.
Mhm.
They were very sluggish, very very slow to get it pushing. But some would say that second half team. We thought we were going to see much of a different team, or more of the same of how we saw it during the season, where they turn it on in the second half and it's a completely different team. But didn't quite see that. Quite see that. So,
Yeah.
and
And
I think it's due to I think it's coaching fault, and I think also you have a quarterback with not a lot of experience to adapt in those situations too.
yeah.
So,
And I think let's we got to keep it real here. Ron Leonard ain't no small guy. So a
oh
6'4",
no,
yeah, 6'4", 220 guy going up the gut, more than likely he gonna get a few more. He gonna get more than a few
right,
yards
right,
going up the gut like that. So I was not, shocked at all to see him doing what he was doing, because really that's just a bigger running back in a way. He's still, don't get me wrong, he's no glorified running back like how you get with like Lamar Jackson or other people that compare, you know. But again, you got a big guy like that coming up the gut like that. He's gonna get something. So,
right.
and also we've seen Georgia struggle with scrambling quarterbacks in the season with Jalen Milroe, um, and other
Jackson
guys. But
Dart.
yeah, Jackson Dart. But Jackson Dart really
Uh,
doesn't. Yeah, he
Jet,
does. Yeah,
he
so yeah,
he's a
but
he's a pocket passer that can run.
Peyton Thorne, Peyton Thorne for sure. So yeah, we
Well, they
we
didn't struggle with Peyton Thorne, just to be
we
honest.
we struggle with
But
Peyton Thorne.
no, you didn't. Last year, maybe, but 2 years ago, maybe, but not this season.
I
No,
more or
no,
less.
not
Anyway,
this year.
but again, genuinely this year's Georgia's defense struggled with scrambling quarterbacks.
And
So
Georgia Tech's quarterback, yeah,
yeah, with yeah. So it was just an ongoing trend this season, and it just really showed even in the Sugar Bowl. Like nothing really improved. And me and you were talking earlier this week, and well, no, just the night of the Sugar Bowl, and after the game, and I was like, yeah, all the teams got you know all this time to prepare, but you have 2 weeks to
that's a
get ready for
long
this game.
time. That's a
That's a that
long
is a that
time
is
to
a
not be
long
playing
time.
real football.
Yes,
That's a long time. That's a
exactly.
long time. Like not even NFL has that much goddamn time.
Exactly. So
That's a lot of time to be off.
exactly, and that's the narrative I was pushing to you because I'm like, even with the offensive play calling, you know what I'm saying? Granted, Gunner looked great out there. I'm not even gonna hold anything to Gunner. Gunner
I
looked for his
I
first
just
start, for his first
okay
official
with
start.
that, and then that's you put the asterisk on it. Yeah, for his first start, he looked good, but did he look? Cause I look at the whole picture. I don't just look at him throwing the ball.
Mhm.
I look at like he spent entirely too much time in the pocket. He didn't feel none of the blitzes. He didn't feel none of the pressures. Hence why they fumbled in the right before the half. You know they don't. Granted, in my opinion, I think you run it there and you live to see another day. But that's my opinion. But if you're gonna throw it there, you have to be aware. You can't take a sack in that situation. You have to be able to understand where the pocket is collapsing from. You know, step up in the pocket, make a move. He's a good quarterback. I think he's going to be good next year. I'm not trying to sound like I'm hating, but I'm just being honest. Like he had a good game for his first start on that big stage with all that pressure on him. Yes, but there are a lot of things that I saw that were rookie mistakes in a sense. Like some of them sacks he took, some of the balls he didn't throw away, um, and then also some of the receiver issues. They dropped a couple passes that were big time. Um, and then penalties were a problem too in some aspects.
Yeah,
Special teams was a problem because had they not scored that touchdown right out the gate coming out of the half with the kick return,
yeah,
um, it might have been a different game. So I think all facets of the game is where, like, that's why I say you
yeah.
can't just put it on Mike Bobo. You know,
Well, I'll put it like this. Again, when you have that much time and of course I'm not going to say it like the way it's coming out. But then you have an extra day because the game was postponed.
with the
So
extra
you have
day, what are
walk.
you gonna do in the extra day?
They had a walkthrough that day. They
But
they they
a
just had a
walk
walkthrough.
that's a walkthrough.
I
That is
get that,
it.
but that's still an extra day to prepare.
But that's not what are you gonna do to prepare that day? You're not. I mean,
Whatever, whatever needs,
especially after
whatever.
all of that, like it's not like you just had an extra day just because you had an extra day due to
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no,
and
I
then
agree.
on top of that, it's only one day.
Yeah.
You know, you've already had 2 weeks to prepare. So that's
Mhm.
to from a coach's standpoint, you can break it down in the film room, talk about it, walk through it all day long. But from a player standpoint, two weeks off and an extra day, that's a lot of time to be stagnant and not
Mhm.
because walkthroughs is nothing like the real thing. You know what I'm saying? So like had they played before that, you kind of work out the kinks and
Yeah.
stuff from within. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you get to try some stuff. You get to and
Mhm.
then you get to see how they played. You get to see where your strength is because you're matching up against. And then you get to knock the rust out. Because I mean, 2 weeks off, you could be very rusty. Hence why the first games of the season, a lot of teams struggle because they've had a lot of time off. They've been
Mhm.
going through walkthroughs, going through practice. It's rusty because they have to get back in their mode. But when you're playing every week, you're fresh. Like your body doesn't need much to get away. So and that's why a lot of the teams picked up in the second half outside of the first. That had that 2 weeks off because they had to shake that rust off. That's what I've always said. I think that is a lot of too much time. To have to wait. I mean, you want a bye week, but not 2 weeks. 1 week, yeah, I could get with that. But 2 weeks,
Yeah.
that's deep because now you just, what I'm saying? Yeah, you can know your game plan, but then you kind of get lazy, get lackadaisical, your body's not loose, whatever.
Mhm.
So I just thought that was entirely too much time, and it
And,
showed.
and I think this gives the committee also a brighter view of
Right,
what
right.
to fix because granted there's still going to be some things changed around about this
Oh, for
whole.
sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
like as far as nobody expected all four teams who won their conference to finally get bounced out like that, so they'll probably try to work and say, okay, there's not going to be a bye, or they don't need this much time off from their next opponent, to prepare this, that, and the third. So there's still going to be probably more than likely some things that they fix around. But to rebuttal your statement about as far as um, just the mishaps that happened with Gunnar Stockton, what when do you kind of point the finger at the O line?
Oh,
Where?
I'm not putting it all on him. I'm not putting it all on him. I'm just saying you have to feel that pressure.
Yeah.
Because your O line, as good as they may be, they're not going to be perfect. So as a quarterback to defend that. Prime example, when you see Lamar Jackson or when Cam Newton was in college, you see them work the pocket. Okay, you feel the pressure on the backside. Step up, roll your shoulder, extend the play, or just simply throw it away. That's what I'm saying. The right side of the line, beautiful. That left side, you could drive a truck through that thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what I saw. But I'm not saying that it's all on him. I'm just saying those are things that you only get with game reps. Understand, feeling pressure, sensing it without even seeing it, feeling that lineman is coming. Using little tidbits, whether you're zoning out and hearing those footsteps, whatever it is. You extend the play or live to fight another day. You just understand you can't take a sack in certain moments. That would be my biggest thing from uh his play, because he did what he was what was asked of him. He delivered the passes on time, and threw the touchdown to Cash Jones. Cash Jones by himself wide open in a blown coverage. So he was seeing the field very well. It's just those little things of feeling that pressure, knowing when to throw the ball away. Not taking that sack, holding on to the ball because that's the second time that I've seen him get sacked really hard and lose the ball. Because he did it in the Texas game, and they lost a lot of yards. They were able to hold them from scoring and doing all of that stuff, and they were able to come back and figure it out. But that's not going to happen all the time. If again, the better that these teams get with transfer portal and NIL deal, it's not going to hold up. Like if you have to hold on to the ball. If you're gonna take a sack in there, you gotta hold on to the ball too. But my best thing is to live to fight another day. Throw the ball away. Step up in the pocket and see if you can find something else. Because when you step up, things open up. Because people go behind you and all these. You got to be aware of. That's why the quarterback position is one of the hardest positions, if not the hardest position in football. Because you have to know where everybody is at all times. You almost gotta be Superman. Like.
Right.
So some people will be like, well, how is he supposed to know that he's coming this on his backside? Well, you got to kind of understand that when you're playing quarterback, because if not, it's going to be a long day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't put all the blame on him. Like I said, the line, the left side of that line was not that great, which put more pressure on the right side. Play calling was not always that great. Special teams didn't play that great. The linebackers just felt like they couldn't tackle, because Riley was bolting through him, which he's a big guy, but they're big guys too. So tackling was not all the way on point. The DBs were up and down, but they for the most part they held their own. And because the touchdown that Leonard threw at the end of the half was a spectacular throw.
Yeah.
The DB was right there. I think it's just in all phases. I don't think that they were not prepared. I think that they just got out physical. Like Notre Dame was fresh. They were coming off a game that they won. They had some energy, some confidence, a no quitter mentality. Much of how Georgia used to be. Just that mentality of okay, I don't care how big you are, we're gonna run through you anyway. So that's my take from the game.
I think it was good for everybody to see what a Marcus Freeman Notre Dame could do, because we hadn't seen Notre Dame since the Brian Kelly days, and of course he's at LSU now. So it was good for Georgia to get to see that. Like it was good for them to see that, because now you just lost to an independent school, and now you got to work on how to fix that so you can go into next season, because everybody always gives Notre Dame flack about I'm sorry, Notre Dame. Why do I always say Notre? But Notre Dame, they
Because
always get
that's
them
what it
flack.
looked like.
Yeah, it does. It does. They always give the team slack about, oh, they're independent. They always find their way creeping into the top 10, top 5. But they earned it. Like they earned it. All the teams that make it in, they earned it.
I mean, sometimes. Because
Yeah.
like let's be real. They make it in the playoffs and they lose the first game every year.
Right.
Let's be
Agreed. No,
real. So
agreed.
right.
Absolutely
So my,
agreed.
my thing is, it's like that
Yeah.
for me. It's true until you prove it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, what I'm saying? Prime example, Georgia couldn't get past 10 wins at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody was saying, well, they just a mediocre team, a 10-win team, a glorified 10-win team. Everybody kept saying it. But then they changed the narrative. Now everybody looks at Georgia like they should be winning the championship. Bama, same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then Saban has created a new era at Bama. So now everybody expects whoever to be the coach to win a championship. You know, so yeah. So I mean, you get out what you put in. So if you and independent, I mean, sometimes they don't play. Like this year, to me, they didn't play a lot of super elite teams. In my opinion. I mean, they had that big win at Texas A&M, but other than that, to me, it wasn't anybody crazy. But they handled business. Like I say all the time, win what's in front of you. You can't help that. Like you win what's in front of you, and then all they can say is you ain't play nobody. But then you win in the playoffs. Now all of a sudden, oh, this is a championship team. It's the same thing they saying about Notre Dame right now. All season, they ain't played nobody. Or they independent. This, that, and the third. And now they beat Georgia. Now what? You can't say anything.
Yeah.
Because they beat Georgia and survived the playoffs.
Right.
So winning shuts all that down. All of it. Same thing with Michigan last year. I mean, they shut that down. I mean, this year they were, a little wishy-washy, but
Yeah.
how do you come back from that? You go out and win. Winning shuts all that down. So I mean, and kudos Notre Dame, they figured it out. They figured out a formula. Like I mean, it don't matter how I look, bump the stats. On the stat that matter is that W in the column at the end of the game. Like
Absolutely.
I don't care what you throw. I don't care what you run. You can run for -5 yards. If you got 3 points, they got 0. That's a W. Work on what you need to work on. Get ready for the next one. That's it.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see this Notre Dame Penn State matchup. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a low scoring game.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what I think. That's
Okay.
what I think.
All right. Well, let's move over to this. My goodness, this Ohio State Oregon game, which was an absolute shock to everyone. Look at Ryan Day. Look at Ryan Day actually finally putting his foot down.
This is what we've been saying.
Yeah.
This is how you're supposed to play and coach when you have the amount of talent that you have on your squad and you had a prestigious school like Ohio State. This is what they want to see. They want to see your team dominate, not get by, dominate. You got so many weapons on offense and such a good defense. You've got to dominate. This is if this had been Ohio State all season, we wouldn't even be no question. His job wouldn't even be in jeopardy.
Also, we would know who the most dominant team in college football would be.
Right. And again, like I say, you win the game that's in front of you. You ball out, do your thing. All that goes away. Now all of a sudden, I heard at one point during the season, Ohio State, they ain't doing nothing. They got all that talent, but they ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
But now what they saying? Oh, Ohio State, they might win it all.
Yeah.
So
I love to see the effort that Ohio State is giving because they know what's in jeopardy.
Right.
If they, we've been joking, but we can very well be 100% accurate when saying this. But if they lose at any point in these playoffs, Ryan Day will probably be fired because that's just how
they've been here before.
Exactly.
So it's not. This is the same old thing.
Yes. Not only have they been here before, but to lose to Michigan 4 years in a row, that is tiring. me in my honest opinion, Ryan Day should have been out of there. They just keep giving him chance after chance. So I think depending on this Ohio State Texas game, which Ohio State has to win, might I add, they probably can go ahead and start packing Ryan Day's things up. But I'm hoping, and I was joking with you earlier today, I'm hoping for an Ohio State Penn State national championship loser gets fired and has to pack their things and get up out of that.
Yeah, that would be interesting for sure.
That would be great.
But I mean,
that would send ratings through the roof.
this will be a good game
Yeah.
because I mean, Texas has seen some defenses, and even though they lost to Georgia, they kind of got the better of Georgia that last game, and they figured some stuff out. And I've learned in watching them, because we watched them in real time, they play chess.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes entirely too much. Like Sark played offensively, at least. Sark plays chess because it literally looks like, okay, I'm gonna see what they do. I'm gonna do these few things and then see. Sometimes it works out the gate and they run away with it. But it's like, I'm gonna see what they do. I'm gonna nitpick, see what they do. I'm gonna run these little this, that, and the third. And if that works, this is what we're gonna keep going to.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't, okay, we got a rebuttal, but we're gonna slow walk it. And in the second half, he kind of figures out this is what we can do. Mm-hmm. It's literally like watching it. It's like that's what I felt, like a chess match almost. Like, but they don't know they're playing chess. They're trying to give their bet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me.
I'm just saying, it's just so crazy. It's just so crazy seeing the collapse of Oregon like this. Like, we were at the Peach Bowl. So the Peach Bowl was literally ending because of it going into 2 overtime. So the Oregon Ohio State game had already started. Me and you walked back up to the press box and we saw the score and we were like, the hell is going on? Like, literally, that's how we were. Like, it was just like, this is not supposed to be happening right now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not like this. It's supposed to be it was like 21-0, 28-0.
But you know why though, right?
Oh, I 100% know why.
Ohio State got clowned for losing that game. Will Howard got clowned for the way he slid.
Exactly.
So now they had, okay, we in a win or lose situation, win or go home situation. We're gonna show y'all.
Not only were they getting a redo, really another chance at life playing against this Oregon team, but you got to think they just had got embarrassed 2 weeks ago against Michigan. They are not going to go out like that. They are not going to go out like that. So you're right. It's finally time that we see this $900 million team that they bragged about all season to finally show their face. So great. Kudos to Ohio State.
Tell them welcome to college football.
Welcome to college football. But hey, do it again.
Right.
That's what I tell you. Do it again against
Texas. I mean, they pretty much dominated that first week against Tennessee.
Yes.
They pretty much dominated that, and we was like, okay, they started to get right. And then, but in Oregon's defense, they should not have been playing Ohio State, in my opinion. I think they should have been playing somebody like, I don't know, on the other side of the bracket, in my opinion.
And a lot of people agree with you on that, and shout out to you for bringing that up because I genuinely didn't think about it like that. But a lot of people agree with you for pointing that out, and like when you have a bracket like that that's kind of all over the place, it makes you really look and think. Dang, Oregon does have a little bit of a tedious more journey than what Georgia may have sitting at the bottom of the bracket. And Oregon had to go through what? They had a bye, so this was really their first test. Yeah, but they should have been having to play, either Indiana or Notre Dame or Penn State or somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, again, another thing that the committee may take a chance to look at or need to look at, as far as how the seating will go and how the bracket will look for for the upcoming years, because that is a little bit of a punch in the mouth when you have to play a little
Yeah,
hard
because
team.
then at that point, what's the point of being number one if
Yeah,
you're not going to get the
yeah,
easy road to the, what I'm
Mhm.
saying, to the championship?
Right,
When you
right,
get to number one, you're supposed to be able to coast through. It's supposed to be set up for you to
yeah,
go to the championship. Now, I mean, it ain't gonna always work out like that, obviously, because you got some teams that just come in and they just want it more,
right,
or they game plan better, or whatever,
yeah,
But Oregon just looked like they couldn't really get nothing going. They tried to get stuff going in the second half, and they looked like they were gonna try to make a comeback, and then Ohio State will say, "All right, enough is enough."
yeah,
We
yeah.
got the better players. Y'all can't. Y'all beat us last time by the hell in y'all chin,
I ain't gonna lie.
but it
Being
ain't
up,
happening.
being up, what is this 30? Is this 34-8 at the half?
Right.
I don't think there
Right.
was no comeback. The comeback, listen, the comeback was no.
Yeah, but I mean, they were trying to. I mean, they scored a few touchdowns here and
Yeah,
there, and
I guess. Yeah,
it's like they found a
that's
weak
ugly.
spot, and then Ohio State said, "All right, let's patch this."
Yeah,
Like
that's ugly. That's
yeah. I
ugly.
mean, Ohio State figured it out. Like I mean, they figured it out. Like the defense has been playing out of his mind ever since they played Tennessee. Offense has stepped up. Where Howard is balling out of his mind. Jeremiah Smith is doing his thing, which I mean, he's been doing it all year. He's been to me one of the most consistent players all year.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean,
man. That
time you use your weapons you got. You got two of two lucrative backs. Two lucrative backs. I won't say the best backs because the numbers don't suggest that right now. But
yeah.
I mean, you got a two back system. It's not gonna suggest that, But I know when they were by themselves, they played very well, and now they're playing together. They accent each other very well.
Yeah.
So they Ohio State, if they can get by Texas, I don't think nobody can beat them. Just
Wait, you
because
say you don't think nobody can beat Texas right now?
no, if they get by,
Oh, if
if
they get by
Ohio State
Texas, yeah.
beats Texas, I
Mhm.
don't think nobody else could beat them because Texas, to me, on both sides of the ball, are pretty consistent. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
when they're
absolutely.
healthy,
Yeah,
and it looks like they'll be healthy going into that game. So,
yeah, yeah.
from what
And
I've seen,
somewhat they kind of have somewhat of a backfield advantage. I hate bringing it the backyard into play, but when you're that close, kind of kind of can't uh especially one win away from the national championship. You kind of got to put that into consideration as well. With the game being in at AT&T Stadium. So yeah, man. I just it's just so crazy to see that the absolute downfall of Oregon like that, man. I hate that for Dan Lanning. Of course I'm a Dan Lanning guy.
well, I know you wanted a championship, but look at what he's brought Oregon back to. I mean,
100%.
we
Yeah.
haven't seen Oregon be in the playoff picture since the playoff first started. You know,
Hmm.
so when Mariota was there,
Yeah.
so I mean, to bring them back to that light in the new era of NIL and the new era of transfer portal and the playoff system, I mean, they withstand it a lot too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I mean, and then you just got a bad luck of the draw because you played a team that you had already played that year. And I say it all the time, and I die on that hill. It's hard to beat a team twice. I mean, and if you do, kudos to you, and you earned it, but it's hard to beat a team twice.
Oh,
It's hard to
I
beat a
know
team
you were
twice.
pushing for a Georgia Texas trilogy, but I don't think we would have been able to beat Texas a third time around if we
No,
would have played them.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I had always
Yeah.
said. I said that I think it was going to be Georgia and Texas was going to finally beat you guys
Yeah.
because I mean, like I said, I mean, you say what you want, but in the SEC game championship game, if we were just going strictly off numbers, not the score, Texas beat y'all. You know, y'all just wanted it more and capitalized on the mistakes that Texas made. And Texas made a lot of mistakes in that game, and you guys capitalized. So that's why you guys won that game. But had they not made those mistakes, it might have been a whole different story.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
and the
But yeah,
playoff picture would have been different. I mean, I know Georgia would have made it in still, but uh, do they move all the way through? I mean, we don't know, but these scenarios would always be there.
mm-hmm.
You know, but I mean, that was a good game on Ohio State part. Finally, glad they woke up and came to college football.
Yeah.
Oregon, okay, now you got to go back to the drawing board because you're losing a lot of players next year for next year.
When I tell you, I was just going through their receivers. They're losing. They're losing Holden potentially. They're losing Terrence Ferguson. Also, never mind. And they're losing. They're losing Ted Johnson. The reason I'm laughing, bro, I promise you, I watch these Oregon games. This whole time I thought Terrence Ferguson was black, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, dog.
Lord,
I thought he was black. But yeah, so you lose those guys. I'm so embarrassed, bro. Please go to the next game, dog. Please.
but anyway, yeah, we got Penn State, and Boise.
Yeah,
Penn
Penn State.
Penn State, their defensive line, their defensive front did
Yeah.
very well, very very well in controlling Ashton Genty. Even though
Mm-hmm.
Genty still had a good game, actually a great game.
Mm-hmm.
He was just having to dodge more people than he
Yeah.
normally does. So for the people that said that they held him in check, I mean the guy went off for what 104 yards. Like I mean, he still was getting off. He just didn't
Yeah.
have an Ashton Genty
Genty
type
behind.
of game.
Yeah. And
Um,
yeah, no, agreed. I mean, Penn State's defense has been one of the best, and if anything, maybe not the country, but the Big Ten. So this was definitely going to be a challenge for Ashton Genty this past weekend, or I'm
right.
sorry, this past week, and he finally just had a test. You know, he finally had a test, and the spread told a different story. I mean, this game was supposed to be a lot closer than what people expected, but man, I hate to say it like this, but man, there was just something that was different about this Penn State team this past week.
Yeah, they were locked
It
in
was
and
just a
focused. James
different Penn
Franklin
State
know
team.
his job on the line,
Yeah.
and James Franklin know that you know you got to capitalize on these moments because it's
Mm-hmm.
not guaranteed that you're gonna make it back next year. You know,
Exactly.
so and his team understood that, in my opinion, because the defense played out of their mind, offense played really good. The running backs, oh my gosh, Penn State running back, that duo almost put up 100 apiece.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they played very well. Penn State ran the ball very well. I will say though, um, they will have to figure out a way to push the ball down the field a little more consistently. Um, uh, to me, in my opinion, because the teams that they're going to be facing have pretty good defenses that know how to stop the run.
Yeah.
So that will be my only take for that. They're just gonna have to figure out ways to more consistently push the ball down the field. But the running
Absolutely.
backs, I know they're gonna do their thing.
Yeah. I always joke about this with my coworker. I'm like, brother, I just never know which Penn State running back is. For one, of course, I don't follow Penn State, so I it's hard to know who this actual starter is, which is, from what I remember, is Katron Allen. But dude, either one of these guys can break off for a big game and turn an entire game around. Like that's just the beauty of having somewhat of a two back system like that, which I think every team now in Division 1 is doing a two back system. So
I mean, it keeps your backs fresh, man.
absolutely, and it's a beautiful thing to see because one of if one is not doing too hot, one can come in and
Yeah, I mean, and
again
then you got two different running styles. Like you know what I'm saying?
exactly, and from
Like
the
you
looks
got
of
one
it,
that might be more powerful, and then
yeah,
one might
I
be
was
more
just saying that,
elusive.
yeah.
So it kind of keeps the defense off balance.
Mm-hmm.
But that's supposed to be able to open up the pass, so you
Right.
be able to take some deep shots and
Right.
things like that. But I mean, honestly, if the run is working, I don't even see why you would, push for the pass down the
Yeah.
field if they're getting yards like that. Like, I mean, if you averaging 5-6 yards a carry, I wouldn't abandon it at all. I mean, I'm just
Right.
being honest because that makes the time go by faster. You know what I'm saying? It keeps the time of possession up. And while still opening up those pass options, the play action, and things like that. So
Yeah. And I mean, Penn State. I mean, I'm sorry, Boise State threw everything they had at Penn State, man. It just wasn't enough. And a lot of people thought this game, since it was the first game since the Heisman Awards, Genty was just going to have this big game and just go off and unleash the beast. But like I said, man, this Penn State defense just was again really the entire team was just different. Like this was just a different Penn State team that wants to save their coach's job as well, like you said. So, um, hats off to Penn State. I mean, I'm sorry, to Boise State. Why do I just keep saying Penn State? But to Boise State, job well done getting this far, man.
yeah,
Nothing,
'cause nobody expected them to be there. You
exactly.
know,
Nothing to hang your head about. Of course, you didn't get to the big one, but listen, to get this far and to have a Heisman finalist who came in second from Boise State, a
fans
Mountain West
supposed to break
school,
the record. You know,
exactly. Man, nothing to hang y'all heads about. So, I think that quarterback Maddox is something special. He
yeah, he
I'm
surprised me. He
yeah,
surprised me.
I'm gonna keep my eye out on him. Going into next season because I see something special with him. So, but yeah, man, Genty going to the league, man, definitely going to be a steal wherever he goes, and um, I think the legacy that he brought to college football was just something special. It's definitely been something special. So yeah, man, that is a legacy you tell your generations about the legacy of Ashton Genty, man, and what he did for and to college football. So definitely gonna miss that, man. I just hate the season is really about to wrap up. So, but yeah, Penn State has a date with Notre Dame this
Dang.
week. Yeah, so but I think that's a good little transition on over to the Peach Bowl. What you think?
Right. Another elite running back. Scatter
Man,
bro.
listen here, man. So me and Stackz had the opportunity to attend this game in person, work in media, and man, that experience was like none other. Now, granted, this one was a lot more special to me than all the games that I've been to, all the games that I've covered, because of course I had my brother beside me. And if you know, some of you may not, but Stax was the one that really pushed me to go and further my career with sports media. And he's always had my back through thick and thin. And the reason this one meant so much to me is because I would go to these games and, I'll be doing my little field walk or I'll do a field lap, just walk around the field before a game will start. Out with FaceTime Stacks like, hey, brother, look where we at. You know what I'm saying? And to just have him there with me, man, it meant the world to me, to be able to do that field walk with him before the game and just kind of take it all in. And it was his first game, to be able to walk the field. I think he wanted to run a route on the field, but we kind of
Man, hey. I about to say, hey, Texas,
we
come on,
we
offer your
had
boy a scholarship.
we
I'm about to do a 10 and out now.
listen,
You know what I'm
listen.
saying?
It
I
took
don't
it
need no NIL money. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no NIL money.
just give him a cheeseburger. He'll be all right. But no,
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
but yeah, it took a lot for me to hold him back. But he did a phenomenal job. He was able to just kind of see what um the media does on a basis, within a game basis. So I think he enjoyed it just as much as I did, just to be up,
Yeah,
you
he
know.
did. I mean, watching the game from the press boxes, I got to see everything. Like
Yeah,
everything. Like I
mm,
mean, I saw Scatterbull with the deep pass.
yeah,
Speaking on which, I mean, he literally was the entire offense. Like I mean, like
yeah,
honestly, it's like my boy threw up in the first half and then came back second half and said, "Put it all on me." My boy threw a touchdown, ran for one. I mean, the man went absolutely insane. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, he yeah, hard to tackle. You
Mhm.
know, not super fast, but I think he needs to be. You know, because he just understands physicality.
Yeah.
Like everybody ain't gonna be able to take that jump. Like Marshawn Lynch said, everybody ain't gonna be able to take that punishment over and over and over and over and over again.
Mhm.
And Scatterboo showed that. Like he ran through everything.
Yeah.
You know, I mean they had to bottle up sometimes, and he would run through that. You know, but uh, yeah, I mean Scatterboo, yeah, he
Yeah.
that deal. Seeing it up
He,
close and in person is yeah,
he yeah, he man, and it's so crazy to see and hear about these guys for the first time this season because he was a JUCO guy, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. He didn't
Yeah,
have any college offers.
he was a JUCO guy. So to see just what he brought, just along with Genty, just to see what he brought to college football this season, man, it's been a
Right,
thing watching it, and for us to be able to see that in person, for his last game as a Arizona State's Sun Devil, man, you couldn't ask for more. So salute to him, man. You know, y'all, man, Arizona State laid it on the line going into two
right. I mean
overtime.
they fought hard.
Yeah,
They
fault,
fought hard.
man, fault.
Fought
But yeah,
hard. I mean, it looked like it looked like Texas was gonna run away with it. I'm not even gonna lie.
early, early in
Right,
the game.
and Arizona State, they just wouldn't go away. They
Yeah,
just kept pounding, kept going, and it put him in a position to go to overtime. You know, and shouts out to Texas for not giving up on that. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I mean, everybody stepped up. I think that was truly a team win for Texas. I mean,
absolutely.
Quinn Ewers found something, got going. You know, Bolden and Golden. Oh my God, dogs. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Man,
oh my goodness. They played very great. Um, yeah, I mean, and the defense stepped up when they needed to with the big pick in overtime.
mhm.
But we say this all year about that defense. The DBs are tremendous. And they showed it. You know that game. You know, the receivers really were a non-factor, honestly, outside of that. You know, halfback pass which caught them sleeping.
Yeah,
You know, they pretty much held it down.
yeah.
They made Scatterboo have to beat them. You know, honestly.
He
So
again, he had to essentially put the team on his back that game. But to Texas credit, they know now that they are the only team in the SEC, they have to do what a lot of people don't want the SEC to do, and that's win. They have to win for the conference because now you have two Big Ten teams. I'm sorry, Big Ten teams in the Final Four. I'm sorry, two in an
two.
independent in the SEC, but
Yeah.
still you have two Big Ten teams. They have to do.
Yeah.
They have to do it.
I think we're gonna see now we're gonna see some closer games
Yeah.
just because now you one game away from the championship. You kind of like Penn State and Notre Dame to me are evenly matched in
Mm-hmm.
my opinion. Ohio State, Texas to me are kind of evenly matched just
Mm-hmm.
because Texas has good DBs, Ohio State has good receivers.
Yeah.
Texas got good receivers, Ohio State got good DBs. Texas got a good quarterback. Ohio State has a good quarterback. Texas has a good defensive line. Ohio State has a good defensive line. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's
Mm-hmm.
and the same thing with Notre Dame and Penn State. Like they both of these games, I think it's gonna be. I really think it's gonna be come
Yeah.
down to the coaches. Like
Now, granted, out of both games, I'm really gonna be looking at Ohio State, Texas a
right.
lot.
For obvious reasons. I mean,
Yeah.
because yeah, I mean obvious reasons. I mean you got one of the highest
Mhm.
paid um NIL team
Right.
right now, and then you have one of the highest paid quarterbacks
Mm-hmm.
with Quinn Ewers. I mean, you got Sark, you got Ryan
Right
Day,
there. Yeah.
you know. So and then with Penn State, you got Franklin, and you got was it Freeman,
Yeah.
Yeah, and Freeman. I mean, so it is literally gonna be. I mean, I'm gonna be locked in for both of them. I'm glad they made them on separate days at their own
Yeah.
slots because now we can really lock in and see how these teams play each other. I mean, all of these teams have gone through adversity this season, so it's not like they're not battle tested.
Right.
So it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna come
Yeah.
down to coaching, minimal mistakes, and execution.
Mhm.
I think they're evenly matched, so I don't think it's gonna be who's more athletic than who. I think this who schemes well, who doesn't make the big penalty, who doesn't make the big mistake, and who who is able to execute their game plan
Yeah.
the most.
I do want to. I want to bring this up, and I feel like you kind of have a feeling what I'm gonna ask. Well, not ask, but talk about. I got a chance to talk to Silas Bolden about that punt return, and he essentially was just like, "Brother, I've been waiting for that one for a long time because this is why he came to Texas, and so that for him to transfer, I know you over there reconnecting. For him to transfer from Oregon State to Texas and then get that big run in probably one of the most important games this season, you know that meant the world to him. Like that meant the absolute world to him to do that on a stage like that with the Peach Bowl because of just how important these games are now. Like the importance of these games. Like all the teams that are in these Final Four, they all weren't projected to make it. So now we are seeing the teams that really weren't expected to make it in. Now they get a chance to really show the world, okay, this is what we're made of. Like this is why we work so hard. This is why we practice in, day out to get to this very point of the season. So, but yeah, it was a pleasure to get a chance to chat with him for a second and you know shout out to Texas, man. Me personally, I'm looking forward to this Texas Oregon State game. I really am looking forward to it. Now, granted, I'm gonna wait till Stackz come back in because I definitely want to make sure we give our predictions. But yeah, man, it was a blast meeting and talking to people at the Peach Bowl. We got a chance to talk to some Arizona State fans and staff members there, and as well as Texas fans and staff members there, some students. So yeah, man, all around great game. Probably I've been to two Peach Bowls now. So of course the first one was Georgia and Ohio State, and the kick at midnight, and then of course the last one with Texas and Arizona State, but can't beat that Georgia Ohio State game. That was something, man. That was something. That was something. I'm waiting for Stackz to come back in. Hold on, y'all. His phone may have died. Let's see. Hopefully he can join back in, but if not, I may have to shut us down. But we're about to wrap up on this in about another few minutes or so. But yeah, man, just all around great season. This college football season has been it's just been a joy to be able to witness all of the underdogs, making some noise with Cameron Scatterbo. I'm sorry, Cameron Scatterbo. Um, guys like him, Genty, uh, looking to see what Cam Ward does in the NFL. Of course, Jalen Milroe just declared for the draft. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of different looks for teams going into next season. So I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. This man Stackz has yet to come back, and I don't know how long I can keep going on like this. But if not, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap us up. I'm gonna check one more time. He normally texts me when he's about to come back in. His phone may have died, but yeah, I think that's all for us today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for joining another episode of the College Shots Podcast. We cannot thank y'all enough for y'all love and support. Continue to like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Add us on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook. We have a page on there as well. Yeah. Make sure you hit that the subscribe button on YouTube. Click the bell for all of our notifications when we drop new episodes, YouTube shorts, comment, all that. So yeah, y'all. I'm not gonna steal his line, but thank y'all so much for tuning in for another episode of College Podcast. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week.
Wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, I gotta go get it.